Hi, welcome to Easy Korean. This is Victor. You are watching the third video of Easy Korean tutorial. And what I'm gonna show you in today's video is the first grammar. It's very first grammar of Korean. And first, I want to talk about Korean grammar. Um, I want to say Korean grammar is all about particles. What uh, what I meant by particles is you have a word and then some particles of character comes along with that word, and then that indicate that word, uh, like some tense for the verbs or for the noun. It uh, indicate that whether it is a subject or whether it is an object. So yeah, that kind of thing. So Korean grammar is, if you know all about the particles, you don't really have to uh, find out the order of the word. So, for example, in English, you have to put, like, for question, you have to put the verb in front, or the like question word in front, where or what, this kind of stuff. But in Korean, you don't have to. In Korean, it's all about the particles. So you just concentrate on the particles, then you will get it. And then there are not many. You can just easily finish them. I think, I don't know, it depends on the people. Anyway, so I'm gonna start the first particle. This particle, there's two characters here, right? Un, nun. These particles has have few functions, and in here, their main function is, sorry about that. In here, the main function is when these particles comes after the noun, these are the nouns. After the noun, after a noun, it indicates that the noun is the topic that in the conversation. So, for example, in the during the in the conversation, if you are talking about the Korean, the 한국어 is Korean. So you add this one of these particles after this 한국어. And okay, I get that. But why there are two? Okay, the reason there are two is Korean, when they make particles, they try to make similar shape. As you can see, they are similar, but they try to make it easier to pronunciation, easier to pronunciate. So for example, okay, I start with the first word, 한국어. This is Korean, right? So if you are talking about the 한국어, for example, then you have to add one of these. So which one would that be? That would be 는. Why? Because it has no last consonant. When you add this, when in the last character, you have to check whether they have last consonant or no. Okay, so what about this? 핸드폰, which means handphone. In Korea, when you call the cell phone, people usually say 핸드폰. which means cell phone, mobile phone. So what about this one? This one, it has a last consonant in the word, so it would be un. Handphone, un. So how would you pronounce it? You would pronounce it because hand, a h e a sound, n sound, hand, and then t, and then p sound, o sound, n sound. Handphone, this the round shape comes as a first, doesn't have a sound, and then n sound, un. But I talked about that in the previous tutorial, that when the round shape is in the first consonant as a first consonant, and then previous character has the last consonant, which is this one. This one will come up to here. So it would become po and in. So this one move to here. Okay? So 핸드폰은. Okay? Because of this reason, they make these two characters. So if they put this one right up behind this word, the 핸드폰은, it's not smoothly you can pronunciate. That's why. Okay, so next one, 회사원, which means like worker, officer, generally. 회사 means company, like office, and then one is for, it's like for the people. So company people, which means officer, like worker, that kind. So 회, it's I, H, what is it? 회, S, 회사, no sound, 워, and then N. So since it has a last consonant, which one should come to here? Everybody knows this one, right? Is that correct? Yes. So the last consonant, and then one, and so this one has to come up here. This one move in front. So 는, right? So 회사원은, like this, right? And then this one, 사과, 사과 means apple. Then since this doesn't have the last consonant, this one will come right behind. 사과는. So if I write as a 사, the G sound, and this vowel is 와 sound, so 사과, and the N, yeah. Okay, so 사과는, right? 마이크. Actually, sometimes you can guess what it is. 마이크. Guess what it is. It's actually mic. mic. So I will write down M, ma, I, k, right? So since it doesn't have a last consonant, this one is coming up here. So ma, I, k, 는, right? And then what about this one? This one has a last consonant, so the last one, carbon, right? Carbon. Cup means cup. Cup. It's interesting, right? In Korea we use cup. Sometimes you will find a lot like English in Korean. So sometimes it's just good for you to learn. Okay, so carbon. Okay, so I'll write that the pronunciation car. Carb. And it's like this, but since the last consonant and the next character has the round shape, this one should come up here, right? So car, bun, like this. Okay, so I hope you guys understand the way to change. And yes, it's just like this. Most of the Korean grammar will be like this, so it's gonna be quite not that difficult to learn. So go ahead. So okay, that was it for today. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment on the section below, or you can send me an email. The details are on the description below. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.